Hi, and welcome to a new session of Q Talks dedicated to Genio, Quidgest is generative AI platform based in patterns and models. My name is Jevon Butler. I'm the Director of Implementation here at Spacebar Limited, which is a company based in Jamaica. And I'm here to tell you a bit more about our partnership we developed in the most recent years with Quidgest, and the reason behind it is Genio. All right, so let's talk about this and do a bit of recap and explain what united Spacebar and Quidgest. Quidgest is a Portuguese software company established in 1988, pioneering business modeling through patterns and automatic software generation. With 120 people, it counts with more than 600 solutions, a vast portfolio of corporate management software solutions in different areas. The company counts with great experience in their own country and has subsidiaries in Mozambique, East Timor, and gained a reputation during the recent years with multilateral funded projects. Quidgest landed in Jamaica because of an IDB project to implement a human capital solution for the public sector. They were aware of the benefits of a local partner, so quickly engaged Jamaican companies to support their current implementation and seek new business together. That's how Spacebar started supporting Quidgest by becoming that integral connection between clients in Jamaica. Spacebar, who are we? We're a Jamaican company with experience in IT consulting, and we've had 7 years of experience and a good traction with the government of Jamaica. As engineers, we are often solution oriented and tailored all our solutions to our clients. Our outlook is to fill the gap between large and medium and small organizations by bringing an effective solution to each. From the beginning of our corporation, the consultants here at Spacebar quickly recognized the way of developing was quite agile, and Genio was a very helpful tool to prototype and implement IT products. Since then, we've started to show our interest to learn more about Genio by being involved. So now Spacebar is officially a Genio partner, which means that we are using this platform to not only create solutions for our clients, but to also develop our own solutions. The partnership also means that we're exchanging new ideas, patterns, and improvements that both companies can pursue opportunities. Okay, so let's talk about Genio for a second. The way Quidgest develops its solution is through a generative AI powered platform called Genio, which emphasizes modeling and patterns rather than coding, as I mentioned before. The tool has created more than 600 different solutions during the last 35 years with the help of business experts and very few programmers needed. Genio is designed to accelerate software delivery by quickly building solutions rather than spending amounts of time and manual effort to code from scratch. Genio was developed with the notion that the people should focus on innovation and ideas for improving our world, not coding. Genio believes in the citizen developer. Now, let's look at Genio's new digital experiences. Genio combines artificial intelligence, abstraction, and inference for software development automation to build extremely large, error-free solutions. It is a continuous delivery technology 8 times faster than low code, offering entirely new digital experiences. It takes days, not weeks, to go into production. Nightly releases for large composite solutions. Genio seizes a golden opportunity for global growth. The lack of optimized AI and digital transformation solutions and competent full stack software developers, at least a 1 million gap, global markets haven't had relevant contact with Genio and are eager for a solution to these problems. Genio solutions are a strong foundation of the digital strategies of dozens of large Quidgest customers, namely governments here in Jamaica, big corporations, and multilateral institutions such as the United Nations. Genio's is Quidgest's hyper agile model, agile tool for modeling and automatic generation of web and cloud enterprise applications in standard architectures and languages. It is a scalable solution for developing package-based capabilities or PBCs and to tap into the composable approach. Now let's look at a few more points here in Genio's position. Genio productizes means that projects do not start from scratch. Genio offers mass customizations. unique solutions with costs lowered by a myriad of customers. Genio boosts developers' productivity, which is 1,330 function points per developer per month. Genio uses models to deliver future-ready solutions. The technology changes, but the business model remains valid. Genio requires much less manual code, no more than 5% in large corporate applications. Genio produces transparent code in modern and standard programming languages. Genio protects code changed by the developers, and Genio, by composing models, builds very large applications, ERPs, core systems, digital twins. And lastly, Genio is oriented to data, not processes. Here are some more examples of capabilities covered with Genio, with specialized teams at Quidgest in different management fields. Genio operates in 12 business areas rather, with specialized teams for each and contain numerous robust solutions in its portfolio. Now, let's look at the different business areas. We can highlight the dimension of some of these solutions, the Genio Public Financial Management Solution, or GFP, in the area of finance, which helps the client in several aspects, such as credit and budget management. You can also see the robustness and the scale of GFP through numbers. We can see that 92% of the code was automatically generated for these solutions. In the strategy and quality and innovation section, another example is the balanced scorecard, or BSC. It has been designed to help every internal stakeholder focus on what is fundamental to their organization and mobilize the most appropriate resources to achieve goals. And as we can see here, it takes 90% of the code was actually automatically generated in Genio. Like mentioned before, Genio provides a solution to many different industries. Within the capabilities shown, you may recognize some of these clients, such as BNP Paribas, the ING Bank, the Portuguese, Cape Verdean, and Mozambican governments. Several international institutions connected to world development and others from infrastructures and health sectors. The uniqueness of Genio has helped it to gain over 200 clients with robust and personalized solutions. Now, let's highlight Genio's most successful case in two markets, one in the Caribbean, key being Jamaica, where I'm located, and others in Central America, namely in El Salvador. Let's look at the government of El Salvador. The Corporation Agency of El Salvador need an integral information and monitoring system for international cooperation. Genio allowed the fast development of an integrated public platform to align the support of the country's international partners with national development priorities. This project maintained several project management capabilities, as you can see here. The other project in El Salvador being the National Assembly, they needed a design and implementation of a legislative technical information system. Genio offered a single integrated platform, centralizing the full life cycle of the law formation process and all related digital records. The system includes components such as voting and multi-level approval processes. This is key and integral to a lot of governments across the world, and we can see here how Genio was able to assist the government of El Salvador in moving forward in a digital future. Now I'll focus a bit about the government of Jamaica. The Human Capital Management Solution is an IDB-funded project for the public sector employees of Jamaica. This project was later renamed to be MyHR Plus as a part of the Government of Jamaica's Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Division. This project will replace all HR and payroll solutions for every ministry, department, and agency, MDA, in the Government of Jamaica. This will result in a complete consolidation of all MDAs onto one main platform. The My Pension Plus application was birthed from the growing need for a pension management solution. It sprung from My HR Plus's digital transformation, and it resulted in the complete management of all pensioners by the government of Jamaica. This is roughly 39,000 pensioners to date. The system will also completely manage all life certificates and all payments relating to these pensioners. Now let's take a look at the overall benefits of the MyHR Plus implementation. As you can see here, it will effectively reduce the cost of the government of Jamaica by digitizing records, which stems from less paper-based processes. It will improve the control and risk management of the government of Jamaica by fraud prevention and implementing audit trails where otherwise there were none. They will result in the complete data accuracy by cleaning and regular maintenance of these records and the overall unification of the public bodies according to regulatory standards. Now, some of the components of the MyHR Plus system include HR, payroll, time and attendance, performance appraisal, self-service, manager self-service, recruitment, and several integration points such as the TRN web service, the 𝗵𝗲𝗴𝗀𝗀 system, the CTMS system, and of course, in recent times, the GIFMIS application, which is a general ledger system being housed by a public sector body. Now let's take a look at the type of solutions that we have that Genio, or Quidgest rather, has been implemented in Jamaica.
So let me just log in. Here I'm logging in as I'm looking in different modules of HR from human resources, which I'm currently at, payroll, training, performance, recruitment, different modules. I'm just going to jump in, for example, search here for an employee and look at his record, which is actually my record. So here we can see all the different evolution of the person throughout their career, posts, payroll information, with allowances, with deductions. Also, let's just jump into recruitment, for example. So here in recruitment, we have a dashboard with some information of the processes, the number of days, how many active processes do I have, some quick actions to, let's say, search for candidates, for example. And here I can see all the candidates in my database, and I can just go and browse through them or do searches or any of that information. I'm just actually going to check the different processes that I have. So we have two processes that we saw before in the dashboard. And I know this one is open for candidates. This one is open, it's for review. And I can see that, for example, here and just go into the process and, see the information that it's managed into a process. This gives you a look and feel of some of the applications in terms of HR. But also, there are different. So for example, for the HR side of it, the recruitment module, there's a front end where you see all the advertisements, and I can see here like different ads that exist, like a greenhouse management manager, for example, and this is their job description, some of that information, the job ad in particular. So we can see different ones. So this is more towards a candidate that logs in and wants to do, for example, apply to a job or anything like that. So they have that option of seeing those job advertisements and check their profile as well. And this one is a candidate that's already onboarding into different processes. So they can see, for example, here their process of onboarding into this new role, like with a welcome message, documentation that they need to submit, a training action, some other additional documentation that they also need to submit. So these are just a few examples of different interfaces from the HR modules and components that make the solutions from HR.
So I've shown already some metrics, success cases of clients who say their challenges were solved using Genio, and even a demo of some of the solutions developed with it. But how does it actually work? Alexandre, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jevon, and thank you for being part of this webinar. So my name is Alexandre. Everyone else can call me Alex for short. And I'm a consultant and also a Genio trainer in Quidgest. So regarding what is Genio and how does Genio work? That is a great question in which I will gladly answer it. So what is Genio and how does Genio work? As you by now seen, you have seen some metrics and success cases of clients who say their challenges are solved by Genio. but from here onwards, we will see what makes Genio ticks. So without further ado, on behalf of Quidgest, I salute you all and thank you for everyone who is viewing our webinar. I will gladly go through what is Genio, and also I will introduce you to the latest and greatest features that Genio has to offer as well. And now let me take the opportunity to highlight one of the most recent Genio features, being Genio Web. And all starts here with the Genio Hub. In the Genio Hub is the grand central of everything related with Genio. You can access the Quidgest Academy for certified trainings. You can access and join the QuidNet to become a Genio partner. And you can also access our forums. I will now do the login into the Genio Hub, and I will access my main work page for Genio Web. As it loads, you can see that now I have several projects available, but for the sake of this video, we will be creating a new one. I will name it 𝗶𝗧𝗹𝗶𝘀𝗁. I will select the language for English, and the entity name I will select to Quidgest. And the description, I will write down a brief description of what this application is all about. And the idea for this application will be to create an application for Iberian link sightings. So just bear with me a little while I type down the description. Okay. Okay. Additionally, I can add an image to better identify my project. I will add this little man and I will save the project. Now, Genio will create our project so that we can work on it. While it creates our project, let me just show you that we can access and edit the parameters of our project at any given time if such is needed. Additionally, if you want to have a sneak peek under the hood of what's going on while Genio creates our project, we can do that. If you want to have a more technical view of what's going on, or if you are simply curious about Genio's inner workings. Okay? So while we wait, the page has refreshed, and now we have our project available to work on. Therefore, what I will do is I will log in into Genio and start working on my project. So this is Genio's interface on its brand new web form. Since it is a web platform, it doesn't require installation, only Visual Studio and SQL to run the generated apps. This is the intro dashboard with the most relevant information, and I can also adapt the dashboard as I see fit in order to adapt to my workflow. I can add and remove shortcuts. I can move them around, as you can see, organize them to better adapt to my workflow. If I feel lazy, I can let Genio adapt them for me and to better organize the shortcuts. Once I'm done, I can simply save and I can move on to work on my project. Speaking of which, let me just give you a brief look of Genio Web. So this is the data menu where developers can begin their database journey. This menu offers the tables option, allowing users to create tables, set up primary and foreign keys, manage enumerations, view indexes, and much more. Genio starts their application through the database. We start through the backbone of every application, and this is the meta model of Genio. As you can see here, I can have an overall view of the tables and its respective fields that are currently on my application. Now let's go to forms. And this page, it facilitates the creation of fields and interactive elements that populate the application. Users can either retrieve fields from existing tables or create new from scratch. such as buttons, unfiltered table lists, or formulas to value calculations. Additionally, we have the form editor where we can configure the layout of the components, how they will be displayed to the end user. I can align them to how I want, move them around, and once I'm done, I can save, and my work will be saved. Now, the navigation page. Here, developers can define the structure of the application, create menus and submenus to organize accessible data, set user role limited pages, and enhance overall navigation between pages in the application. Now, let's go to resources. Resources is dedicated to the visual aspect of the application. It allows users to customize fonts and manipulate the colors to align with their business branding, such as you can see here with the application that we're about to create for the links sightings. And now we will jump to the generation page, where this is where we can generate our application and debug the application. In the distribution, this is where you can find documentation related to Genio. And finally, the settings menu allows developers to configure their Genio project according to their preferences. So it is a great opportunity to discover the power of generative AI creation with our dynamic homepage, streamline development, and bring your vision to life effortlessly with Genio Web. Okay, and now let us go back to tables, and I will create a new table for you to all to see how a new table is created and how seamless the process is. And while we view the creation of a table, let me discuss the data structure in Genio. So the data structure is the first component to be modeled in your application. We start by defining the model with the table and fields in which constitute them. In the model, we define a group of relevant business rules, such as formulas, which define the value that the field will have and the condition which will allow a saving or not the inserted data. It will all depend on the business needs. If we aim to compare Genio with our competitors, you will notice that we start with the model. Basically, we start to build the data structure of the application. We start with the backbone of the application. We gain a model with much richer rules by doing so. And when creating rules next to the model, we do not have to do it in each place of the interface. Let's say, for example, we want to define that all values have to be larger than 0, for example. Any of these places will obey to this rule, not demanding a specific configuration. So this means that I will not have to spend my time, for example, to go on each and every page and define values for each and every page. I can, since from the beginning of my application's lifespan, I can define what I want for it and what is the criteria and what is standard for the application. Later on, if I want to make changes, I can make specific changes, but I have the default set and I can work on that default. So going back here to Genio, at the moment I'm setting up a human key and saving that human key so that once I create a secondary table, through a foreign key, I'm able to link both tables and create data synergy between the forms that are dependent on these tables. As you can see, creating a table in Genio is as simple as navigating the UI and filling out fields. Quite intuitive. And now I'm going to show you a neat little feature of Genio. One of the available tools in Genio is the first site model, or FSM. The FSM allows the user to have a macro vision over the data structure of his or her project. Here we can see a fisheye vision, and here a table onigram as well. The first site model is a pioneer project to visualize models in information systems to create a bidirectional bridge between the business requirements and the modeling of an information. So basically, here you can see how the data is structured while you are working on your application. And now let us go to the forms and form editor. So regarding the previous table that I created for species, now I will create the form for it. So I will name it as species. I will select the table that I just created, and I will just to show you the several options that we have available to create our form. So we have widgets, we have pop-ups. And now I will import the components that basically will import the fields that I created on the table itself, and I can reorganize them as I want them to, depending on the order that I want them to appear. And save my work, always save my work. Otherwise, if we do not save our work, the work will not be saved and will be lost. So a great note there. And once I have laid down the components, now I can work on their layout in the UI. Interfaces like lists and forms are mostly inferred from data structure. The interface layout starts to be modeled by choosing which data fields and controls to include. So the form fields and controls behavior is declared like other all components in the Genio model. Only exceptionally an interface demands code. Having business rules in the model saves coding in interfaces. Fetch data from related tables, CRUD, filters, auto-completion, business rules, and warnings do not require code in Genio. They can all be set up by the Genio interface and doesn't require any coding knowledge whatsoever. So once again, Genio is a tool for all human beings that can work and create their own databases and their own applications with ease. And going back to Genio, I was just organizing the layout and save my work. And now the layout that I defined will be then reflected on my application. And now let us jump to the layout editor. We can go to resources, select our app, and here we can edit the layout of our applications. We can set it up to a vertical or an horizontal display. We can upload icons and pictures in order to add an extra flair to our application. We can change the colors at ease, and many other UI aspects that we want to either appear or be hidden on our application. The overall application layout and theme can be customized, as you can see. By changing the primary color in the layout editor, we can see the impact it will have on the various elements. You can also change options like font size, rounded table corners, and other global options, meaning that graphical design in Genio is also quite easy and accessible, and you can, with just a few clicks, create a really good looking application if you want to. If you want to put the effort, you can have great eye candy being displayed on your applications. And this is again another fantastic feature of Genio that make it as seamless as it, can be. be. Aside from what we could see on the forms editor and then the layout editor, Genio offers more possibilities in terms of visual customization of your applications. One example being the one used on the application that we are developing for the link sightings would be interactive maps, where we can set markers on the map itself to record where the links were cited with precision. We can also elaborate graphs that reflect data with great levels of both precision and configurability. And we will take also the opportunity, since we are discussing graphical aspects of tools that are generated in Genio. Let's see the example of BSC, an application developed in Genio, where it has the combination of graphs and cards in the main page for a general data view. The menus are on top, managed under a tab system containing submenus, and menu navigation is quite intuitive, with easy access to organized table lists that filter and display the data accordingly. And speaking of menus, let's now check the navigation panel, where we have the menus option in Genio Web. And why is this menu so important? This menu is important because navigation through menus makes the information accessible to the user, with all the corresponding fields and the relation to the objectives and perspectives. Checking, selecting, or filling parameters is an efficient approach to modeling. It is through the menu that we structure the app's navigation, and such can be done by following these 5 core elements. Responsiveness. It is important that your solution is responsive to the end user's needs. If navigation becomes hard to follow or require extra work to find a specific menu or page, it would deter the users from exploring the rest of your application, and you do not want that. Consistency. There's nothing more confusing to users than a navigation menu that disappears or relocates every time they click to a different page or menu. Consider the navigation menu like a map to your application. As such, it needs to be clear and reliable. Such allows applications to keep its menu design and elements consistent on every page so users can easily find important information. Simplicity. Research shows that we can only hold about 7 items at a time in short-term memory. This means that in a navigation menu, less is more from a user's perspective. You are able to keep these items focused and easy to digest so users can quickly and efficiently find the information they need. Prominence. The navigation menu should be one of the easiest elements to find when you first access the main page of your solution. After all, it is the only way a user knows what they can actually do on your application. It only takes seconds for an end user to scan your application, and if they aren't able to find the path to the information they seek, then the user experience may not be the best. You can use the navigation menu as an opportunity actually to draw the user's eye to the most important elements of your application. And last but not least, logic. The qualities of an effective navigation menu reach far beyond a clean look or design. Not only does concise navigation menu improve user experience, but your navigation menu should accurately describe the most important areas of the application and establish a logical hierarchy of pages. This is why the menus page holds such importance when developing applications in Genio. Okay, so this concludes our Genio presentation. So I hope that I managed to answer your query, Jevon. Do you have any further queries that you might want to add to our little discussion?
Thanks, Alex. That was a very insightful presentation. The only question is, for those of us who are watching might be wondering, how can they start with Genio? Well, to all our viewers out there, you can do exactly as I did here at Spacebar. Enroll in the Quidgest Academy, where you'll need 1 week, which is approximately 40 hours, to become a Genio full stack developer. There's level 1 and level 2, where you will develop your own project inspired in either a need or a demand. Alex, is there anything you want to add to that?
Of course. All levels can be done remotely in person in Quidgest's headquarters, or if, for example, due to forces that are beyond your power, these trainings are also available fully on a remote session. If you need more freedom with a specific schedule, you can always enroll in an e-learning format, and you'll then only need to send us your final project or to schedule an evaluation, and we will review your final project and give you feedback accordingly to the project that was developed during the training session. Then you can check on Quidgest's website all the conditions, or even talk to us directly.
Okay, thank you for that. Now we'll open the floor for Q&A, but please leave your comments in the chat or contact us at solutions@quidgest.com and we'll get back to you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for watching this Q Talk, and stay tuned for more webinars and events. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for being a part of Quidgest's partnered companies, Jevon. So I hope we can hear from you soon again. And thank you everyone else for attending our webinar, and stay tuned for more news in regards to the Genio world. Thank you.